A very good evening, Zimbabwe. You are listening to Studio 7 from the Voice of America on Monday, February 28, 2022. This is Live Talk. I am Gibbs, Dube.
And I'm Marvellous Mhlanga, Nyahuye, broadcasting from my home in Washington, D.C. due to the COVID-19 pandemic.
Tonight on Live Talk, we are talking about political violence in Zimbabwe and the war in Ukraine.
Police in Zimbabwe have arrested 16 people in connection with the death of a Citizens Coalition for Change supporter, Boneni Dube, who was attacked while attending a by-election party rally at Mbizo shopping center in Kwekwe yesterday.
In a memorandum to the officer in charge of the Criminal Law and Order section in the Midlands province, state security agents in Kwekwe said investigations are in progress and the suspects will appear in court soon to face charges of murder and public violence as defined in Section 36 of the Criminal Law Codification Reform Act.
According to the CID, the suspects attacked people attending the rally while CCC leader Nelson Chamisa was addressing the larger crowd.
Police said they reacted to the scene and got information that the accused person were hiding at Jesse Gardens, Bizo 11 in Kwekwe, which is about a kilometer from the venue where they raided and arrested the suspects. Police said they are looking for Kennedy Simbi, who is believed to be the main person who inflicted the fatal blow on the deceased.
And going to Ukraine now, according to the United Nations, more than 420,000 people have been displaced by the war, with most of them seeking refuge in neighboring countries.
According to the government of Ukraine, the war has claimed the lives of over 350 Ukrainians. Talks between Russia and Ukraine are underway today to find a way forward for the crisis. Yebo kambe mahlaba ezulu linjani lapha likhona endaweni zonke zomhlaba ezitshiyeneyo. Namhla ku-Live Talk sikhuluma ngokwenzakala khona ngale eZimbabwe lapho sikhangele khona ukuthi kungani kulabantu ababotshiweyo abayi-16 okungani bazahamba edale lomthethwandaba. Abantu laba-ke kukhanya bahlasele abakubandla le-Citizens Coalition for Change elikhokhelwa ngumnumzana Nelson Chamisa izolo eKwekwe. So-ke khonapho-ke kungani abantu laba abaningi bangikhona bakubandla le-Zanu PF ngokutsho kwamapholisa. So lithi libadinga abantu laba laze labathola becatshile kwenye indawo kuthiwa i-Gardens khona ngale-ke iKwekwe. Abantu laba bahambe bethwele imikhonto, bethwele amabhemba lokunye, bahlasela abantu ngesikhathi uChamisa ekhuluma esesitejini. So-ke i-Law and Order section yeKwekwe ithi-ke ama-investigations aqhubekela phambili. So abantu laba bahanyiswa emthethwandaba ukuthi bebhekane lecala lokubulala njalo lecala lokwenza udlakela. So-ke ama-CID athi-ke abantu laba kukhanya ngazani into kade beyenza bebeyazi, njalo kukhanya ngazani abanye njengoba ngitshilo ngabantu abathwele amakhadi ebandla le-Zanu PF. Omunye wabo kuthiwa nguKennedy Simbi, amapholisa athi amdinga ngamehlo abomvu, kanya nguye obulele-ke ujaha wakoNcube ngokumgwaza. So babona ngani umgwaze ngomkhonto kumbe umgwaze ngengqamu. Siye kwele-Ukraine khona manje siyabona ukuthi i-United Nations ithi sokulabantu 420,000 asebebaleke kwele-Ukraine bebalekela impi. Abantu laba sebeyaphephela emazweni atshiyeneyo. Uhulumende la uyabika ukuthi abantu abayi-350 kwele-Ukraine sebebulewe khona ngale ngesikhathi sempi leyi. So njalo kulembiko yokuthi kulokukhulumisana phakathi kwele-Russia lele-Ukraine ngenxa yokuthi kukhanya ngani ukulwisana lokhu kungani kulobuhlungu obunzima. Marvellous, kukhanya kunjalo-ke singazi ukuthi uye ngapha omunye wami mbona ngasamboni lapha, mbona ngani umane waqhumeka othi mkhangele mbone. So-ke kukhanya ngazani kula khonokho ongani kuyahlupha okunye okumangalisayo. So singakayivele khatshana silobaba uDr. Simba Mavaza, udokotela Simba Mavaza ngowebandla le-Zanu PF ukhona ngale-ke eBritain ibranch ye-United Kingdom yebandla le-Zanu. Dr. Mavaza, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, sir, and good afternoon.
Good afternoon. So there's this political violence in Zimbabwe, and police are saying, you know what, they've arrested 16 people, and most of them are Zanu PF activists, and they actually spelled that in bold letters. So what is going on here? What do you think could be happening?
There are two things we must look at, and we must be very frank about it. The previous day, the president was addressing people in Kwekwe, and in his address, he said we are not a violent party. So ZANU-PF is not a violent party. So these people who went on and attacked Chamisa's people who were having their own rally, they were not sent by ZANU-PF. They might be members of ZANU-PF, yes, we agree, but they have not been sent by our party. And our party is actually looking at them with revulsion. It's surprising. That's why the police have arrested them. That's why the police are doing their job. So I can assure you, ZANU-PF is not a violent party. I understand. MDC has gone up and down attacking ZANU-PF because of the attack by its members. You must know that 75% of Zimbabweans support ZANU-PF. So if you throw a stone in a crowd, you can hit a ZANU-PF member. If you throw a stone in thieves, you can hit a ZANU-PF member because we are the majority. But it does not make us a violent party. So yes, we condemn violence at all costs. There is no way I can sit here and proudly say ZANU-PF is good in violence. We persuade people. We do not even want violence. We want to hear violence in the papers, but not in practical. We know MDC always lie about violence, but this time there was violence, and the police have arrested the guys, and they're investigating. We will come to the bottom of it, and very soon we will know. But the truth is, Zimbabweans, we are ashamed. ZANU-PF, we are ashamed. If these are our members, shame on them, because this is not what we stand for. We do not stand for violence. We cannot go and spear our relatives. They can be Chamisa's people, but they are Zimbabweans. The bottom line is they are all Zimbabweans. They've got their right. Democracy means you can decide to choose whomever you want to choose, support whom you want to support. You cannot be beaten for that reason. You have to be persuaded. If I can't persuade you, go ahead. We cannot be a proud party if we don't have a party we are beating in elections. So ZANU-PF wants opposition. We promote opposition. We even pay them in Poland to become strong opposition members. We need opposition. A strong opposition party makes ZANU-PF work hard, and that's what we want as a party. We are not afraid of the opposition. We cannot
Thank you.
attack at all.
Thank you very much. Let's hear from Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda, who is the spokesperson for the president of the Citizens Coalition for Change. Welcome to the program, Dr. Sibanda.
Thank you very much for having me, and greetings to you and listeners.
Thank you very much. So we are happy that you've actually joined the show. So tell us about what happened over the weekend, and we understand that we actually attacked while the president of the party was addressing people. Just give us a brief of what happened.
Well, as the world witnessed, what took place is what we saw happening on the 1st of August 2018 when ZANU-PF was rigging the elections, where, military style, we were attacked. The president was also attacked when he was having a press conference soon after the elections in the same manner. So ZANU-PF has this incessant fear of the president, of President Chamisa, that every time they have to resort to these extraordinary actions, including serious attacks that end up with people dead, killed for no apparent reason, simply to make the point Chamisa is not allowed to participate in politics in Zimbabwe because ZANU-PF is afraid. The evidence that is there is very clear that this was a ZANU-PF attack on a meeting of the citizens, and as the president said, he had intelligence and actionable intelligence and good authority about these things, and as the president said, this is attacking citizens is completely unacceptable, and it should not happen in a democracy. And as the president asked the question, why is Mhlanga becoming worse than Ian Smith? And what does he think? And you had the president's impassioned call for reason. The president's impassioned call today for an objective look at our ways of doing things and seeing whether or not we can begin to love our country again and give it an opportunity to become as great as it is supposed to be. So it's embarrassing that those that claim to have given us freedom are the ones that are oppressing us worse than those that they were freeing us from.
Yes, Marvellous, go ahead.
Tombonzwa kubva kwamuri vaSibanda kuti pari zvino matanho api amuchatora pane chiitiko ichi chakaitika nezuro kukwekwe?
Muchandiregerera handina kunzwa mubvunzo.
Sithi khona kuyini elizakwenza kulandela udlakela lolu, kuyini okulandelayo phambili khonapho uthe
The president and the champion in chief made a declaration, a statement today, and there's really very little that was. I've never heard a leader make such an impassioned, personable, laughable, and great political statement about the state of our country. I think that the president has said that Zambia must begin to think about what they want to see happening in the country when they are killing young people who are simply asking for good government because they want jobs, who are simply asking for change because they need to have the families that are scattered across the SADC region across the world to come back home with good people who simply want that. And it is not for the MDs, for Triple C to, and that's in our mouth, to decide what direction it has to take, because the president said, we've always done the right thing and we are with the citizens. A little fast to let President Chamisa, they bring themselves in. That is why you see that people were injured, and that's the citizens of Kwekwe. Because we don't do that. The amount of support that the people's movement, the TPC has, the number of citizens of this country that are now partaking in political activities because of the leadership provided for by the president is amazing. And that is the direction. Nothing will beat the citizens. And that is what the president said. I thank him for relating closely to the citizens and also for working almost entirely with the citizens and for the citizens, because that is the direction that our country will take. America is a great country because of its democracy, and that its democracy sees the participation of every citizen. So are all other democracies that are successful. And that's the only direction that the president wants. He wants a direction that supports the agenda of the citizen.
Yes,
sithi thina into khona ngekuthi uthilo umongameli njalo i-champion yama-citizens in chief upresident Chamisa ukuthi no, ufanele asebenze atshintshe indlela enza ngayo izinto elizweni ngumnankagwa labantu bakhe, ngoba sebesenza udlame lokuncindezela abantu ngendlela edlula leyo bisenziwa u-Ian Smith. Umbuzile umbuzo oqotho kakhulu ukuthi kathi ucabangani eminangagwa nxa esencindezela abantu beZimbabwe ukwedlula uncindezelo olwaphuma kuSmith. Umbuzile njalo ukuthi kathi awukuboni yini mnangagwa ukuthi okwenza abantu baphuma bayakulwa impi ngesikhathi sikaSmith yikuncindezelwa ngendlela efana lalo yenza. Kathi bona ucabangani umlandu ngokamnangagwa labantu bakhe ukuthi balungise udaba lwabo lokuthi kabathandwanga abantu sebebulele ilizwe, babuyele emva bavume lokho bese besekela izenzo zabo, ngoba kaziluka ngokuzila upresident Chamisa namhlanje wathi kathi wena mfethu akungitshela ukuthi ulabantwana lawo kwele Zimbabwe, ulomuzi kwele Zimbabwe, kathi ungezwa njani nxa umuntu ezathi wena ngofuna umsebenzi abe lokho ebuye ezothatha abantu abakho abagongode babulawe. Ukubone ngani kucina ngani umlandu ngokamnangagwa ukuthi ekele udlame lwakhe, ngoba alusoze lumsize, alusoze lufikise ilizwe leZimbabwe esibangeni esiqondileyo, njalo kuzahlupha yena umnangagwa usiya phambili. Sibone ngani inkulumo kapresident kumbe singamthi umongameli uChamisa iqakathekisa khona ukuthi silungise ilizwe, njalo akabuyele emuva, akazange athi yena uyabuyele emuva, uzale lokho esebenza lezi zalo zezibaba.
Marvellous becela ukufaka ngesishona khona.
Bathisu baChamisa babvunza vamnangagwa kuti zvinozwa kudzvanyirira vana veZimbabwe nenzira inokunda yaita Ian Smith nguva yeudzvanyiriri. Unofungidzira kuti zvopererepi izvozvo, zvinonangepi? Unokanganwa here mnangagwa kuti vana venyika ino vakabuda vakandogara musango vachitambudzika vachibvira kuti vawane kuzvitonga kuzere. Zvino wakutodzokera shure uchindobata kusina kana kundobata varungu kupindira uchiponda. Vana venyika ino vari kutsvaka vari kuti aiwa tiri kuda shando nekuti mabasa toda kugara toda kuti hama dzedu dzakabuda munyika dzinotsvaka kurarama dzidzoke kuzotsvaka kurarama munyika ino. Funga kuti izvezvo zvinotisvikisepi uye zvinonatsei. Dzora maitiro wako kuitira kuti vana veZimbabwe vagotanga kugarisana vachivaka nyika yavo. Nenyaya iyoyo vachamisa vasundidzira basa rekugadzirisa zvakaipa munyika zvekuurayiwa kuri kuita vanhu kuna vaMnangagwa kwayabva. Vakati ivo vacharamba vachiendera mberi manzwiro andaita vachishanda nevana veZimbabwe. Hapana basa rakakosha kukunda rekuita basa nevana veZimbabwe nokuti ndo varedzi venyika, ndo vanofanirwa kuteererwa, ndo vanhu vacharamba vachifambidzana napresident Chamisa. Iye uyu kana achida kuramba achiita izvezvi uye ari kuponda macitizens achapindurana nawo.
Yes, sicela uvale iphathani yakho ke siye kubaba uSikhumbuzo Mlalazi usebhilitane ingcwethi kwezombusazwe ezimeleyo. Baba Mlalazi, welcome to the program, sir.
Thank you, Dube. Hello, Sister Mavi and the people of Zimbabwe.
Yes, siyabonga kakhulu ke. Akutsho ukuthi wena ukubona njani udlakela lolu olwenzakalayo?
Akubuhlungu baba Dube. Ngiqale ngokuthi e-Ukraine ngalabantu bayabulalana. I've been watching and seeing people are selectively praying for the people of Ukraine, and they are being taken to the the place of safety from the war zone, and often black people are left in Ukraine to die. Khonokho baba Dube ngikubona kwami ngibona ngani kumele ngabe kuyasenda i-message ebantwini abamnyama wherever they are. Ikakhulu ezweni elifana eZimbabwe kune-culture of violence, political violence. Because if you listen to the political leaders and the political supporters, you might think they love political parties more than the country, Zimbabwe itself. It's embarrassing for any leader, any political leader of Zimbabwe who is failing maybe to unite himself with other people, whether they are his rivals or their enemies, to put our country first. Because if you look at it now, the temperatures are boiling up and people are ready to defend their parties, not to defend the country. And you think, if you look at them, you think of leaders who came before the current leaders, people like Jeff Nkomo, you see, they thought they were fighting for the right cause. Now all that is being soiled, and it's embarrassing to have people, whoever thinks they will free Zimbabwe, yet people are divided. I don't think it's fair to anyone, because everybody in Zimbabwe, I think every citizen of Zimbabwe are desperate for change, not just political change, but the situation of Zimbabwe. Now, if you look at it and listen to political leaders and political supporters, they are only there to support their parties, not the country. They don't care about other people who are not interested in politics. Because if you look at it, the rallies, you will see that in a place like Pekwe or Harare, you will see that majority of the people, they don't attend those rallies. But they're being affected with the effects of and failures of the leaders who could see that it is very important to think for a country like Zimbabwe, which has been suffering for over 20 years now. I think the only person who are going to save us is the leader who are going to say Zimbabwe has to be united. Zimbabweans have to be united, and that will happen through dialogue, because fighting and killing each other is like a culture now, and it's not nobody will win. So I think, to me, all these people are talking for their political parties. They should, first of all, start now smelling their armpits and feel the pain that our people are dying because of the political failures. And I think it comes from all parties of Zimbabwe. They should now think it's about time now. They think we are living in the 21st period, and then we are better off united than divided. And it's an embarrassment to black people, even if you are watching from Nigeria and listening to Zimbabwean, scratching each other like that for political mileage. I think it's very bad.
Yes, sicela ungifake ngesindebele ngamafutshane khona.
Okay, ngingasazi isindebele ngoba ngikhala kodwa ngizathi mina ngibona ngani abantu bakithi kakhulu abantu abasupport ama-parties abayekele ukusetshenziswa ngoba ma ulwa uzogijima ukhumbula le Dube abantu ngoba bema beya eralini noma ekababa uChangimisa noma kababa upresident welizwe bahamba besebhasini eyodwa mase befika ngale sibejikelana ngoba segqoka ama-t-shirt ama-political parties. iZimbabwe ma ilwela ngabafowethu babelwa bengabantu beZimbabwe bekhokhelwa ama-leaders abefana uJoshua Nkomo bethi ilizwe lalikhulelwe abantu abamnyama sasicindezela manje ma sewujika thina sesincindezele sodwa and ma si-divided like that whether it's a leader esiyifaka namhlanje entsha or ama-leaders avela khona azosijikela ngoba they see elopholo ukungabambani kwabantu and we are weaker that way. We are better off united together for a cause. The cause is to have a clean Zimbabwe and a respected people, because now Zimbabwe has become a joke, and Zimbabwe has become a laughing stock because people are quarreling and fighting for political, I don't know what it is. So I'll leave it there, Baba.
Yes, awuzawukhuluke Marvellous usungangena khonapho uDr Mavaza.
aiwa regai timbobvunza Dr Mavaza kuti tiri kunzwa apo vamlalazi vari kutaura ivo kuti zvakakosha kuti mapato emunyika vawanikwe ivo kukurudzirana kuti pawanikwe paine runyararo uyezve kutaurirana nhaurirano rekuti zvinhu zvinofamba sei. Zvinoita here kuti vatungamiri vemapato toti pachaitwa rali inotevera toona mutungamiri wenyika vaMhlanga vachitaura nyaya iyoyi yekuti mhirizhonga haifaniri kunge ichiitika kunyange kuri kupati kwavo kana kupati kweavo vanopikisa navo.
Thank you so much. Chekutanga ndechekuti ndoda kuti tinyatsonzwisana kuti sebato reZanu PF tiri kuramba kuti violence haibve kupati mhirizhonga nezvibhakera bato reZanu PF harikurudzire zvakadaro. Saka chiitiko chakaita kukwekwe chinototyisa nekutoshoresa ende chakashoreka. Ndokusaka mutungamiriri wenyika abvumira kana audza mapurisa kuti atsvage munhu akaita kana vanhu vakaita umundu uyu vasungwe. As a result vanhu vasungwa nekukasika kuratidza kuti party napresident havamiririre svina yakadaro yekuuraya nekurova vanhu nekusawirirana. Nawo kupindura kwedu kuti munzwise kuti as a party MDC triple C nemamwe mapato ese aifanira kubatana navaMhlanga in fighting violence, kwete kutsvaga nguva yekuti tawana nguva yekurova Mhlanga musoro nezvaituka nevamwe vanhu vangoutawo vega vasina kutuma. Iyi haisi nguva yekuti tirwisane titora advantage of such a sad thing. This is a sad thing and we are sorry about it and we apologize kuti on behalf of Zimbabwe. This is not ZANU PF, you know. This is not the second dispensation. Yeah, it's a new dispensation. It's something vanhu vagara neumhondi hwavo uyezve vawanikwa vari vakawanda kulodge yakambenga ari mutungamiriri akambenga ari gurukota rezvekuchengetedzwa kwenyika kana kuti state security vamudha. Hatinzwisise ende yagara inongozivikanwa kunzi vamudha vaimboita maproblems ekuti vane chikwata chine mapfumo nemabhemba chinorova vanhu asi zvanga zvatiperei. Saka ibasa remunhu mumwe chete nevanhu vake vaari kutuma yekuti mapurisa ari kuda kuona kuti can this connect to mudha. If it does anosungwa, if it doesn't avasungwa.
So there's a lot there, right?
Yes. Vanotsanangura chichaitika kana kuti nemhaka yezvaitika saizvozvo. Saka if we look at this issue all together, ZANU PF has condemned the violence and it has not said it is good. And again, it is wrong for MDC, CCC, another party to stand up here and start hammering ZANU PF for this. Let's stand together and say no to violence. We fight as a team. We fight as Zimbabweans because the people were killed. Besides being Triple C members, they are Zimbabweans. We stand for the country, and the government is for the country. So let us stop looking at a party level. Let's look at the national level. This must be condemned by the whole nation, and it's not the fault of ZANU-PF, and we must not blame ZANU-PF. Let's blame the individuals and make sure we make an example of them, that this will not be done again.
So, but we still remember that in the 1980s, something of that nature happened, right?
Mm.
Still remember that? So why is it that we are having a similar thing right now? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you very well.
Yes.
I am surprised when you say
Yes.
in the 1980s something of this nature happened. Can you be specific with which
You
one are you
still
referring to?
remember the Kukuraundi, the atrocities, and some people actually butchered others and were actually granted some kind of amnesty by the former president.
Okay,
And some of them were
let me
linked.
explain. Let me explain
Some
that.
of them were linked to ZANU-PF. Just briefly, and then we'll go to Sibanda.
Yeah, quickly, I have told you from the beginning that this is a new dispensation. So the new dispensation was not there in those days I'm talking about. And again, the Gukrawundi issue, it's a completely different issue. It's not it does not have a star here. So when you're looking at what we are looking at now, this let's look at this and let's not cast aspersions. Let's deal with the problem and finish with it. That's how we can treat the ill. It is an ill, it has to be treated.
Thank you very much. Let's bring in Mr. Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda. Go ahead, Dr. Sibanda. Can you react to what Dr. Mavaza was saying and all these other things?
For what I had, at the core of this, Zimbabwe and the world, is that you have people that are being killed continuously by the same political organization, and that these people are brothers, their sisters, their cousins, their mothers, their fathers. These people are to somebody what I am to my brother. They are what you are to your daughter or your son. They are what Mavaza is to his brother. And explaining away somebody's murder and death on the simple basis that we now can try to push it to murder and disown it is in my view unfortunate. We should simply be able to say that the killing, if I was a member of ZANU-PF and or a party that killed, that continues to have a history of killing people, I would be saying, with my humanity, I don't belong here. With who I am, I cannot associate with this. I don't want to excuse it. I just want those people to face justice. And I want to belong to a political party that will never and does not kill people, does not find excuses for the murder of citizens of a country that they call home, the only country that they can ever belong to. You see, Dube was killed in his own country, in his own hometown, in his own stadium, around the people that he has always known and lived with, the people he loved, and simply because he was at a place that another political party decided he should not have been at. And you know what? There shouldn't be a place like that in this time on earth, and there shouldn't be anybody that supports an organization that has such tendencies. In fact, Mavaza and his president, Dambudzo Mnangagwa, should be either resigning from their organization that has a history of murder as a result of this latest murder, and we know they are looking for more blood to let. They should be resigning, or what they should be doing is reforming their ideas and moving away from these old ideas that are almost archaic and old school and so primitive, as President Chamisa said. We can't be killing people with spears in 2022. It's just not where we should be. We should be killing people anywhere. Now, I really encourage Mavaza to walk the talk. Walk out of ZANU-PF, Mavaza. You will be respected by the world. You will be respected by the people. You will have some people in ZANU-PF who may walk with you, provide the leadership, and ask Mnangagwa to walk out of this murderous organization and begin to respect humanity. That is the test of the measure of our character. It is what we stand with and what we can't stand with. Everything else is useless rhetoric. Everything else is not worth anything, Mavaza. What is worth something is to vote with your feet, vote with your action, get out and show the world where you stand.
Yes, Karufaka Sindebele.
Bengisathi mina uMavaza ngiyamuzi ukuthi unganukhala ngokuthi yena ucabanga ukuthi kuthwala lokhu kwenziwe nguzibanyabanyana ngithi mayuyu mfowethu yekela ukudinga izizathu mfowethu zokuthi kathi kungakwenziwe yini kungakwenzakala njani iqiniso likhona into le yenziwe izanu ngoba kuzanu kuyinhlala yenza ukuhlala sibelela abantu nxa ungavumelani lakho Mavaza lo president wakho uDambudzo Mnangagwa ngithi mina yenzani into right votani ngezinyawo zenu liphume kulinhlanganiso ebulala abantu esisaziwa ngokubulala abantu liyezimela laphana nxa kuyikuthi alifuna ukuphuma yenzani ukuthi namhlanje lokhu lumuntu obulela umuntu ngoba liyamazi ngowenu kuzanu limbambe limfake ejele bese liguqula inhlanganiso yenu likhiphe kulolu dlame likhiphe kuthini sisesibangeni sokuthi isincindezele unsundu wele Zimbabwe ukwedlula uncindezelo lolobe lukhona ngesikhathi sika Smith lusenziwa ngabelungu abalutshwane ekade bencindezele umuntu omnyama kathi yini kathi elikuqhakathekisayo kangako ngebandla kumbe ngenhlanganiso eyaziwa ngokubulala abantu abamnyama kwele Zimbabwe selikhuquluzela qeda abantu kathi lifuna abantu baze bathini mina ngithi votani ngezinyawo zenu phumani livale okuyinhlanganiso kwenilokhu okodlame lokubulala abantu akuqhakathekanga ukuthi libe khona khonapho libe selikhuluma nje ngomlomo ukuthi hayi kubi hayi sibone ngani kwenziwe ngomunye umuntu onje yini lidinga izizathu lekelani ukudinga izizathu bafowethu phumani
Yes, Karufaka
livale kuyinhlanganiso kwenilokho
yofayela ngasitshona ba.
ndangandi chithini kuna bamavaza ndanzi wakho ngavari kuti ivo vari kutsvaga kuti vati aiwaka hatisi kuti chaizvo akaita izvi ndiyatoziva ndewezanu asi ari kuita zvisina kunaka isusu napresident wedu Dambudzo Mnangagwa hatizvifarire aiwaka regai kuti hamuzvifarire munhu wakafa vanhu vakakuvadzwa ava vamavaza nguva akafa kwaanobva kwaakabva kumba akabva achinzi baba vambobuda bamunini vaenda vari kudzoka sekuru vanga vari pano makuseni muningi naumwe munhu iyeye auraiwa munhuwo semi vamavaza naMnangagwa kana muchinzwawo kurwadziwa kwandiri kuiti kana pano kana muri kurwadziwawo nekuti taane vanhu vatema vari kuponda vanhu vatema kukunda maponderwo aita vanhu vatema nevarungu ndiri kuti ini itai chinhu choita kuti tiremekedze zvamunotaura budai muzano vamavaza nakomredi Dambudzo Mnangagwa kana kuti munomuti ndiani budai muzanu kana mabudai imomo nokuti mume muchiziva kuti zanu iri kungoramba ichingoita history yekuponda vanhu vatema hazvisiri izvo zvakaenderwa kuhondo izvi kuti tigouya tichipedza vanhu vatema naizvozvo tinyare iwo musarambe muchivhara maziso mune umhondi mune muzanumu mune ngozi irimo inoita kuti murambe muchingoponda vanhu kudai momuvhare chinhu chenechi takaora chinhu chenyinyi
Yes, sicela ubambe khonapho ke Marvellous.
Vamavaza manzi kwazvekutaurwa navasibanda anzi chinhu chenyu cheZanu PF chaora uyezve vari kuti ivo sei musiri kuwanikwa imi muchigona kuti mupedze nyaya yekupondwa nyanya kwevanhu tichiona kutaura kwavaita vati vaNcube vakabuda vachienda kurali murumewo ihanzvadzi uyezve vaenda vachiti vachadzokera kumba vachienderera pamberi neupenyu hwavo asi vakazorasikirwa neupenyu vaenda kurali iyi yeCCC.
waita basa Mav Vasibanda vane dambudziko kwete ivo vega, bato ravo rine dambudziko rinokurirwa nekufunga nemaemotions. Hakuna ari kufara kuti kune munhu akaurayiwa, zvinonzwisa tsitsi, ende munhu haana kuurayiwa neZanu, akaurayiwa nevanhu vanofungidzirwa kunzi ndevebato reZanu. Hakuna atavaona vane maID cards, hakuna atavaona kuti tinavo murejista medu, asi vanhu ende esi hatisi kuti vakaita zvakanaka, tiri kuti ndokusaka vasungwa. Kana vasungwa, kana vachinge vari vanhu veZanu, tichavabvisa mumusangano, because musangano wedu hause violent party. Ende musangano wedu musangano wevanhu, saka hatingauraye vanhu. Iko zvino tiri kutoedza nepatinogona kuti tiudze vanhu vari kuMDC, vari kuCCC kuti huyai kumba, huyai kuZanu, ndokwamunodiwa. Hatisi kuda kuvaunza nemapfumo neuta nemakano, hatibate mapfumo, tinotaura nemuromo nekuvaratidza gwara remusangano. Kana ukatarisa yatinoti slogan yeZanu inoendera mberi inoti asingazive ngaadzidziswe. Van'Dube vakaurawa, tine urombo, ende tinonzwira mhuri yavo urombo, tinoti kune mhuri yavo dai Mwari avanyaradza. Asi hakusi kuda kweZanu PF, hazvinei nemusangano weZanu. Ende van'Dube vakatonzwawo nezuro wacho, vamunangagwa vachiti nyika ino haichabvumirwa kupinda mumhirizhonga yekurwira mapato. Saka ndokusaka vakasimuka vachifara kuenda kumusangano kwavo. Idzi nhubu naradada nhundira mutsime dzakazobata mapfumo nekubaya vanhu kumusangana havana kutumwa nemusangano weZanu. Saka ndiri kuti ni kuna Dr. Sibanda, vaSibanda, kana muchida kuti tirwise utsotsi neumhondi hwakadai, ngatibatanei pakurwisa umhondi. Let's come together. Kana vemabhora vakavengana wani vanopfuga pamwe chete vachirwisa racism. Even if they are opposing teams, they kneel together. My opposing teams, they are kneeling together against Ukraine mubhora. We can kneel together, ZANU PF and CCC, against violence and make sure it's gone. And the Mapurisa Tonada now, they've done the right thing. Within 24 hours, vatosunga about 16 people, vakatobatwa, vatovhariwa mangwana nengwachinda kudari. Hakuna ari kunzi varegerere manyuthi edu, hakuna ari kunzi varegerere vanhu vedu. Imhondi, ende vanoshandisa mapanga nemakano, hatidaro isu, hatishandisi zvakadaro, totaura nemuromo. Saka tiri kuti isusu, yes, violence hakuna anoti yakanaka, yakaipa, it must never be heard of, not gore rino, harisi gore reviolence. The new dispensation yakatanga nekuvhura ma-democratic windows ese. A democratic space is open for everybody kuti anzwisise kuti nyika yedu yeZimbabwe tine vana vemunhu mumwe chete. Tikurwira mukaka wedu asi hatibanye nemapfumo, hatiurayani nekuda kwepolitics. We just talk and tichipersuadana toenda kuma-elections. Tinourayana pavhoti. Anenge akundwa anosimukawo osiya umwe achitonga. Tinovaziva vanhu vasingade zvekukundwa. Munoziva mbiri yavo vakakundwa vanobva vamhanya kumatare, vanobva vatsa kunyika dzakasiyana siyana. But for this one isitiri kuti aiwa zvakaitwa hazvina kunaka. Nobody is saying it's good. And isu kuno, inini as a member of ZANU PF, I don't support this. My president does not support this. The party at large that does not support this. The political, the CC, Central Committee, kusvika kuma DCC, hakuna anosapota umhondi wakadai. Atiite zvakadaro. In any case, kana ZANU yaida kurova vanhu, yagona kuvawanzira mudzimba murodhi 11, toenda pachaunga. Hazvidwari izvozvo. Ndokunonzi kusanyara, kusapfeka. Chandinoda kuti ndikurudzire Mav na Gibbs, ndechekuti mapato anopikisa musati mawana pekutamba napo kudyira sadza repanhamo, kubva matanga kudaidza kuti pafiwa ngatibva taurayirai ZANU pano kuita mbudzi yepanhamo. Aiwa, iyi haisi nyaya yecampaign, inyaya yepeace, inyaya yefreedom of speech, inyaya yefreedom after speech, inyaya yefreedom yenyika yedu. Saka ngatibatanei tose kuti tibvise umhondi wakadai, asi tisangoti ZANU.
Yes, Dr. Mavaza, as we are speaking right now, there is a tweet from Job Wiwaskala, who is saying, quote, our CCC champion in Zengeza West, Agatha Mujati, has just been knifed on her head by ZANU PF thugs in Zengeza 5 a few minutes ago, who are being led by one Lloyd Mukahanana. At ED, Mnangagwa must stop this nonsense of taking our nation through the garden path of war, stop the violence. And it's got some very graphic pictures, of the person that has been knifed. So under such circumstances, Dr. Mavaza, do you think this violence is containable?
It's very containable. Iya vataura baba is violence ZANU-PF. Tese to zvaJob Scala anongotaura zvaafunga anongomwashukawo sejira remudhongi. Chokwadi ndechekuti panapa hapana
But at the moment, I mean, let's not attack a person who's not here. So if he was here, it was going to be fair.
Gibbs, I'm commenting on what the person who's not here has said here. So it must be attacked from the person who said it and what he had said. We cannot then debate it because he's not here. But he put on Twitter, so he's open to attack. He can tweet again and respond to me. But for now, he must hear what I'm saying. So what I'm saying to him is Job is a liar. We all know that. And so Scala should not say these are ZANU-PF people. There must be investigations. There must be proof of it. How do you know? Maybe she has been fighting in the street for something else. Maybe they are thugs. Maybe they are fighting for anything different. There is no rally in Zengeza. There is nothing in Zengeza now. We cannot just go after people knifing her in Zengeza fight. For what reason? So that is not true. That ZANU-PF does not work like that. If it was at a rally, we would understand. It's in the streets. We don't even know. Maybe they are factions. They are fighting. We know, as you know, Gibbs, and you might not want to discuss it now. We know very well that Professor Nube is fighting with BT and Job Scala. He wants to run away because he's not happy there. There's factionalism in CCC. Everybody knows that. And if Jokora was here, we'll discuss it fully. But you understand very well that those people can be fighting themselves. They just have to blame ZANU-PF for it.
Thank you. We'll come to that
go
issue.
back
Yes.
to our point. My issue in conclusion is
10
that
seconds.
we need as a country to come together and to shora umondo uri kuitwa uyu kwete kungoda kungoshora ZANU-PF hazvibatsiri. Let us look panyaya tonangana nezviripo tofambira chimwe chete sadriver weambulance kwete kungosimuka tongoshambadza zvisirizvo hatidi kusvibisa zita repati yedu. It's a peaceful party.
Thank you very much. Let's bring in Mr. Sikhumbuzo Mlalazi. Mr. Mlalazi, quiet. You've heard the two gentlemen talking here, and you've been very quiet and listening to the conversation. Quiet and make your comments.
Yeah, it's said when people are killing each other, but all this will come to nothing. I think I just want to give an example of what happened in Zimbabwe when the former president was falling. We saw people rallying, regardless of the party affiliation. People were just supporting the fall of the president. And we united as a country, MDC, the many factions of MDC, ZANU-PF, and all other political parties. They came together into Harare to say we want to work together as a people and to change our country for the best. And we've seen again in 2013, I believe, when SADC and other countries of Africa came to Zimbabwe to say we rather form a GNU, and they accepted that. And our country was moving to the right direction. And Kenya, for example, gave a light to say united people can make their country move forward. Raila Odinga and Uhuru in Nairobi, they are working together. I just want to ask the two gentlemen to say if, for instance, the leader of the CCC can then invite the leader of ZANU-PF to say, I'm having a rally in Bulawayo. Can you come and stand in front of the people and campaign together and to say we want peace? We don't want people killing each other. Because once if people are running behind the truck, branded with the political messages to say down with this party, down with this party, then you are sending people to kill each other. So all these people are talking now, they should understand people are killing each other because of the leadership poverty, I would say, in political parties, because there's no way that if a leader can preach, even if the people, his supporters are armed with AK-47, if you are going to stand in front of people and say, I don't want anyone in my party to be killing anyone, I do not believe that anyone can then go ahead and killing people. It shows that there's weakness in parties. So I think the only way forward for our country is for our leaders, before we go to any election, to come and campaign together. What is say, for instance, I come from Plum. All MPs from all parties, if they are going to have something they call a star rally, they must invite rivals, because they are not enemies. They cannot be enemies when they live together. They must come together. But if a message is, people will then decide, the voters will decide, because you cannot force people to vote for you. People will have to decide whether this person is making sense or is just talking rubbish. As we are listening now from all the political defenders here, some people are supporting them, some people are thinking they are talking rubbish. So I would say anybody who is supporting division of Zimbabweans, that person is talking rubbish. So I just want to think, if our leaders, for instance, the leader of the country and the leader of any political party, they can come together and say, we're going for a rally, for MDC rally, invite each other and then go and stand. They're not going to kill each other, of course, because they're protected. And then all these leaders, they should understand that people are dying. They are their people. They are Zimbabweans. So for us as a country, it's an embarrassment. We need our country to be counted as the best country. They can solve this, and solving this by only dialogue will solve our political problems permanently. Because the squabbles will never. There's no war which was in country which was built through war or through arguments like this. Even a home, you cannot have a family fighting like this, and then you call that place a home. It's gonna be unlivable. That's why people are running away, because people are not united. So I will urge these guys to say, they should invite all our leaders to come together when they are campaigning. Because if the leaders there of the MDC, the leader of the CCC, the leader of the Zanu, they're all there, there's no one who are going to attack each other. Everybody will feel represented in that rally. So that's my view.
Thank you very much. Let's turn to Mr. Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda. Marvellous, go ahead. Yes.
Gibbs, thanks, Marvellous. I just have a difficult time, Gibbs, in this time of strife and danger, where people are actually being killed, that my brother Marvellous wants to find neutrality on the cheap. And then I say this with a lot of respect, okay? You can't say when people are being killed, you want to be neutral and kind of want to blame both sides, blame the murdered
Mr. Sibanda?
because the murdered person somehow.
Yes, go ahead, Sibanda. Go ahead, yes.
Yes. Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Go ahead.
Yes. You can't blame the murdered person with the murderer because somehow you think the murdered person didn't beg the murderer not to kill them. It's just not right. It just doesn't sit well with me. I would not do that. The fact of the matter is this, Marvellous, my brother. Is there a night?
Is Mlalazi, not Marvellous. Yes.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, Mlalazi, my brother. Sorry, Marvellous is the an anchor here. But
Yeah.
anyway, Mr. Mlalazi, the fact of the matter is that a night before those gruesome murders and serious injuries on members of Triple C, right in the middle of President Nelson Chamisa's speech, the vice president of the murderous organization that carried out terrorist activities at that rally, ZANU-PF, said that what he wanted to do, and that his primary goal in life, was to crush the Triple C with a stone like lice. And what you had from President Chamisa, his vice presidents, and all the leadership of the Triple C was a call for citizens to hold hands together and prepare to vote. You were two different messages, one, each of them very clear on their objectives, each of them sending very clear messages to the supporters on both sides. What President Nelson Chamisa was saying is that the country shall go where its citizens want it to go, and the citizens must be respected. On the other hand, you had Chiwenga and his party president and the rest of the party rallying a message that says people must be crushed. This is the kind of language that always precedes mass murders. These are the kind of words that you hear from terrorist organizations across the world. that you must crush, that they are infidels, that they are bad people, that they are not like us, that they're the worst, that they are not desirable. You're othering other people. And somehow, my brother, to find neutrality in the middle of that and say that somehow you need us to go to Zanu PF to beg them not to kill Zimbabweans. With all due respect, my brother, we've passed a point where anybody should try and be neutral on murder. You know, I don't care who murders. If anybody in the Triple C murders or orders the murders of anybody, I will tell you what I am going to say, because I am a lover of humanity. What I am going to do is to tell them that they must be ready to hang themselves. That I don't need to have a conversation with them for them to stop killing anybody. That I don't need them to go into a boardroom anywhere or into a rally with anybody. That killing is unacceptable, full stop. We can't even have a conversation about who should be killed and what conversation must be had before somebody must stop killing. Nobody must kill anybody, full stop. I do not like corporal punishment when it is being administered by a state. I do not like people being killed because somehow we think that they've committed a crime to start with. And I do not like people being killed for any reason, anywhere, by anybody. For whatever, under whatever circumstances, I think life is sacrosanct. And for that reason, my brother, I beg to respectfully differ. I say all the time, those that keep quiet and seek for cheap neutrality when people are being murdered are tacitly aiding and allowing murder to take place. Even the United Nations has a simple principle that says the right to protect. When people are being killed by someone who has force, arms, and power, anybody in the world who is a human being has the right to act to protect those that are being murdered without having to ask the questions. And this is where I stand on this matter. You ask no questions when people are being murdered for no apparent reason by those who have arms of power. You simply, if you can, you simply do what you can to prevent those murders, to stop them. And I can tell you, my brother, Mlalazi, Zanu PF is not about to stop killing no matter what you do, because they want power and they want to continue stealing from us. They will not talk to anybody. That's how they ended the GNU that you were referring to. They ended it by going to a fake court process that ended the GNU prematurely and called for the 2013 elections. It doesn't end well with ZANU-PF for as long as they still hold on to this. That is why the most rational thing is to ask those members of ZANU-PF that still have their humanity with them to resign from the murderous organization and its history of murder. If they mean what they say, they must leave that organization, allow it to die with its murderous history. And then we can rebuild this country anew. All together, brothers and sisters, disagree without being disagreeable. Disagree positively. Let's stop this pull him down mentality. In order for ZANU-PF to win, it thinks it has to pull down President Chamisa and kill him. That is wrong. We can do politics without murder. This is what President Chamisa has been saying since 2009, 2012 when he was attacked. The one thing he said on that bed when he was bleeding and on the brink of something worse was that there is a better way to do politics. He still says the same thing, and yet somehow we find a way to equate him with Mnangagwa. How do we even do that and go to bed at night? Sorry, but it's
Yeah, so let's bring in Dr. Mavaza to respond to what Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda is saying. I know these two gentlemen have got some.
Can you speak to resigning? Can you resign?
Yeah, okay, let's hear whether he wants to resign. Yeah, quiet, Dr. Mavaza.
Thank you. Thank you. You see, Dr. Sibanda is being very emotional, which I understand because somebody has died, but he's not being reasonable. We are saying the person who is killed, or the persons who have killed Mr. Dube, they are not ZANU-PF. They might be our members, but they're not on ZANU-PF ticket. And that is wrong. And we are not condoning that. We are actually saying this must be condemned. And we are saying, again, as ZANU-PF, we are a peaceful party, and Sibanda knows that. That's why he can say what he's saying and he's still alive, because we are a peaceful party. We have not caused any injury to anybody. It has never been ZANU-PF's thing. And as Sibanda does not understand, I can excuse him because probably his Shona is not very correct. When the vice president says we want to crush them like a lice with a stone, he didn't say crushing them in death, crushing them in a ballot box. If we say sender, it does not mean we want to kill you. It means we want to conquer you. We want to win, and we're going to win in a ballot box, not winning in a street. We don't use spears. We've got guns. We don't use spears, and we don't use people who are not trained like those ones in Kwekwe. And I want you to know one thing, Gibbs. This is not the first time that there's been violence in Kwekwe. Even our own ZANU-PF members, we had member of parliament of Shurugi North, Honorable Nyati, was attacked in Kwekwe by the same people who went to hide at the same place where they were arrested by the police. When he was having elections for primary elections. And again, we had another colonel who was actually attacked in Kwekwe, and he ended up dying from the wounds. We're talking about last year. These are people who are not ZANU-PF, but the people who just cause problems, who just do it because they think they are pleasing the party. The party is not
It seems as if you know exactly where the problem is. You know the person who is
we do. We are the party.
Yeah.
We know what is happening. This is not ZANU-PF. That's why we know it. We know who is doing it. That's why the police have arrested them. And you know now, because you have got the police memorandum. They've arrested 16 people in less than 24 hours. You must be applauding. Sibanda must be saying thank you to the police, but he never thanks. He never thanks anything good which has happened by the government. ZANU-PF would have simply kept quiet and said, we'll look for them. But no, it's not our people. They sent the police. The police went in there. They've been sent by the government. They've arrested people. They've brought them. They're going to court tomorrow. What more do you want from a party? You must celebrate when these things happen, that we are no longer hiding people who are killing other people. We are a new dispensation. If you do your own thing, which is not according to the way of ZANU-PF, you'll be arrested. And this is what has happened. Sibanda must just see that and accept it. Not only standing there and lambast on our...
Sibanda wants you to resign, you know?
No, Sibanda must join us because we are the peaceful people. He's a peaceful man, and I respect him very well. He's in the wrong party because they are it's a party who are drama queens. In this situation about yesterday, it's a bad thing. This happened, and it's not what we expect. But we know that CCC, when they were still MDC, they would exaggerate everything. But for yesterday, we know somebody has died and people have been arrested because that has happened. And we know that was bad. And the police are still investigating. They have not stopped. So Sibanda must be rest assured, give the police the chance to investigate, give everything to be done. ZANU-PF will make their own decision. If these people are our members, we'll give them appropriate sentences, appropriate disciplinary measures, which ZANU-PF will take. But we cannot do it because Chamisha is crying. No, it's not a matter of crying. It's a matter of sitting down. Let's work together. Let's stamp out violence from our politics. Then, Mr. The other guy, I forgot his name,
Mlalazi.
He was actually talking about Mlalazi, about Kenya. This is the problem of MDC. They want to copy. What happens in Kenya does not work in Zimbabwe. There is nowhere in the world where you've seen a ruling party, a president, saying, I rather you vote my opposition member and not my party members. It means he has no confidence in his own party. But that's another story. So we cannot say let's copy Kenya. Kenya can do what they do because that's Kenya. They've got their own way of running their politics. And President Kenyatta have got his own way he wants the politics to run in Kenya. But our way is different. You come in, you campaign, you are voted in or you are voted out. For now, we are in. We are in power, and we are not looking for power with a spear. We're in power already.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Dr. Mavaza. But just one word answers or responses. Is this violence going to end? Yes or no, Dr. Mavaza?
It has ended. You will never hear about this again because the police are not.
One word. Yes, no.
Yes.
Dr. Sibanda, is it going to end? Yes, no. Mr. Mlalazi, is the violence going to end? Yes or no? No. Thank you so much for your remarks, gentlemen. We've come to the end of our show. Wish to thank Dr. Nkululeko Sibanda, spokesperson of the President of the Citizens Coalition for Change, Dr. Mavaza, Zanu PF member based in London, and Mr. Sikhumbuzo Mlalazi, a Zimbabwean living in Britain. Signing off from Maryland, this is Gibbs Dube saying, good night, Zimbabwe.
And I'm Marvellous Mhlanga Nyahuye saying, have a very good night from Washington, D.C.
I wish you all the best. Bye-bye.